If you're over 60, there's one small habit that could silently put your brain at risk while you sleep. No warning, no pain. Just one night you go to bed feeling fine, and by morning, you can't move your arm, your speech is slurred, or your balance is gone. As a neurologist, I've seen this scenario unfold far too many times. And here's the surprising part. It's not always caused by smoking, poor diet, or lack of exercise. For many older adults, the hidden culprit is something they thought was helping them: vitamins. Yes, vitamins. Every day, millions of seniors take supplements, hoping to strengthen their bones, protect their memory, or boost their energy. And while some vitamins are helpful in the right amounts, others, especially when taken at high doses or at the wrong time of day, can quietly raise your risk of stroke, bleeding in the brain, or dangerous blood pressure spikes. I'm Dr. Olivia Hart. For over 20 years, I've worked with older adults facing the realities of aging brains and blood vessels. I can tell you this: your body at 60, 70, or 80 does not process supplements the same way it did decades ago. What once seemed harmless can become risky without you even realizing it. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 common vitamins: vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B6, vitamin A, and niacin that can become dangerous if you're not careful. You'll learn the science, the real-life patient stories, and most importantly, the safer choices you can make starting today. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Have you ever wondered if your daily vitamins could be doing more harm than good? If you've had that thought before, type 1 in the comments. If this is all new to you, type 0. And if brain health matters to you or someone you love, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Thrive. After 6-5, so you never miss practical, science-backed health tips designed for older adults. Now, let's begin with one of the most surprising vitamins of all, the one you've probably heard is good for your bones, your mood, and your immune system. But when taken the wrong way, it can quietly set the stage for a stroke: vitamin D. Let's start with vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin you've probably been told is good for your bones, your mood, even your immune system. And that's true, but here's the hidden danger most older adults never hear about. Too much vitamin D, especially when taken at the wrong time, can quietly raise your risk of stroke. I remember one of my patients, Mr. Walter, a 74-year-old retired Navy veteran. He was disciplined, sharp, and careful about his health. Every morning, he lined up his supplements like clockwork. Among them was a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he bought over the counter. He believed he was protecting his bones. But one morning, his wife found him slurring his speech, unable to move his right arm. He'd had a stroke overnight. His blood work revealed sky-high calcium levels, hardened arteries, and blood pressure swinging out of control. The culprit was vitamin D toxicity. Here's why it happens. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, but when the dose is too high, calcium builds up in your bloodstream faster than your body can use it. That extra calcium doesn't just disappear, it deposits into your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. For older adults whose arteries are already less flexible, this creates a perfect storm: dehydration, poor sleep, and a nighttime calcium surge that can end with a clot traveling straight to the brain. What makes this even scarier is that there are no early warning signs. You go to bed feeling fine, and you may wake up with your life forever changed. In the United States, many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements contain 5,000, even 10,000 IU per capsule. That's far more than most seniors actually need. Research shows that even 2,000 IU daily may be too much if you aren't deficient. So what should you do instead? First, know your numbers. Get your blood vitamin D levels checked regularly, don't just guess. Second, always take your vitamin D in the morning, not before bed. This prevents calcium spikes at night when your brain is most vulnerable. And third, if you're also taking calcium supplements or heart medications, it's even more important to talk with your doctor. Vitamin D is not the enemy. In the right dose, it supports bone strength, immunity, and overall health. But when overused, it can silently tip the scales toward stroke. So, let me ask you, do you know how many IUs are in your vitamin D supplement? Type D in the comments if you've checked your label. Next on our list is vitamin E, often called the heart helper. For decades, it's been marketed as a supplement to support circulation, improve memory, and even keep your skin youthful. Many older adults take it faithfully, believing it's a simple way to protect their heart and brain. But here's what rarely makes it onto the bottle label. In high doses, vitamin E can actually increase your risk of bleeding in the brain. Take the story of one of my patients, Mrs. Evelyn Brooks. She was 81, a retired librarian from Ohio. Sharp, witty, and always with a book in hand, she took pride in managing her health carefully. She had a heart valve condition and was prescribed warfarin, a common blood thinner. Her doctors monitored her closely, and everything seemed stable. Then she saw an advertisement for natural vitamin E in a magazine 800 IU per capsule. Thinking it might boost her memory and circulation, she added it to her routine. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the hospital with a severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. A scan revealed a hemorrhagic stroke bleeding inside the brain. Here's the science behind it. Vitamin E, especially in high doses, acts like a natural anticoagulant. It slows your blood's ability to clot. If you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, or a prescription blood thinner like warfarin, adding vitamin E can quietly make your blood too thin. And in the brain, even a small bleed can have devastating consequences: loss of speech, memory, or mobility. What makes this more alarming is that the recommended daily intake of vitamin E for older adults is just 15 milligrams, about 22 IU. Yet, most supplements sold in stores contain 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule. No warnings, no consultations, just a glossy label that makes it sound safe. Mrs. Brooks survived, but she now walks with a cane. Her short-term memory was never the same. Through tears, she once told me, "I thought I was helping myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." And sadly, she's not alone. So many seniors believe that if it's a vitamin, it must be safe. But that's simply not true. So, here's my advice. If you're taking vitamin E, especially alongside heart or blood pressure medications, talk to your doctor. Make sure you know the dose you're getting. More is not better, in fact. More can be dangerous. Now I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you know ever taken vitamin E? Type E in the comments if this made you think twice. Now let's talk about vitamin B6, the one you often see advertised as a nerve support or brain booster. Walk down the supplement aisle and you'll find bottles promising more energy, sharper focus, or better circulation, all thanks to B6. And yes, in small amounts, vitamin B6 is essential for brain function and nerve health. But here's the part most older adults are never told. Too much B6 can actually damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. One of my patients, Mr. Harold Jenkins, illustrates this perfectly. He was 76, a retired truck driver from Kansas. He came into my office complaining of numb feet, tingling hands, and trouble keeping his balance. At first, he thought it was just old age or maybe arthritis. But then he started falling first once, then again. The third time, he hit his head on the bathroom floor. When I reviewed his supplements, the problem became clear. He'd been taking a nerve support formula every day for over a year. Each tablet contained 100 milligrams of vitamin B6, and he was taking 2 a day, 200 milligrams daily. That's more than 10 times the safe upper limit for older adults. Here's why that's so dangerous. Unlike some vitamins that flush easily through urine, B6 can build up in your body. Over time, excess B6 damages the protective sheath around your nerves, like stripping the insulation off an electrical wire. The result is numbness, tingling, weakness, tremors, even confusion or memory loss. And because these symptoms develop slowly, many people mistake them for arthritis, diabetes, or even early dementia. But in reality, it may be vitamin B6 toxicity. Mr. Jenkins was fortunate. We stopped the supplement before the damage got worse, but he still uses a cane and no longer drives. He told me, "I thought I was protecting my brain. I didn't realize I was poisoning it." And sadly, his story is not unique. The truth is, older adults only need about 2 to 10 milligrams of vitamin B6 per day, including what you get from food. But many brain or energy formulas sold online contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams in a single pill. That's not just unnecessary, it's dangerous. So here's my advice. Check your labels carefully. If you see more than 10 milligrams of B6 per serving, be cautious. Talk with your doctor before continuing. Remember, more is not better, especially when it comes to your nerves. Now I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever taken a supplement labeled nerve support or brain booster? Type B6 in the comments if you've ever checked the label or if you're going to check it today. Many older adults think of vitamin A as a safe choice. Good for the eyes, good for the skin, good for the immune system. And while vitamin A is important in small amounts, here's what almost no one is told. Too much vitamin A doesn't just pass harmlessly through your body, it builds up. Over time, that buildup can damage your brain, raise pressure inside your skull, and even mimic the symptoms of a stroke. Take the story of one of my patients, Miss Dorothy Simmons, a 79-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. She was independent, full of life, and loved teaching music to children. To keep her skin and eyesight strong, she'd been taking a high-dose supplement 10,000 IU of vitamin A every day for more than 5 years. One afternoon, she developed pounding headaches, blurred vision, dizziness, and eventually slurred speech. Her family feared she was having a stroke. But scans told a different story. No clot, no bleeding. Instead, she had dangerously high intracranial pressure, what we call a pseudotumor cerebri, or false brain tumor. The cause was years of vitamin A toxicity. Here's why this happens. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, which means your body stores it in your liver, your tissues, even your brain. Unlike vitamin C or B vitamins that flush out in urine, vitamin A lingers and accumulates, and as we age, the liver becomes less efficient at breaking it down. Too much vitamin A puts pressure on the tiny veins and nerves inside the skull, leading to headaches, double vision, nausea, dizziness, and in severe cases, permanent vision loss or cognitive decline. What makes this so tricky is that many multivitamins already contain the full recommended daily amount of vitamin A. The safe upper limit for older adults is about 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day. But many eye, skin, and anti-aging formulas contain 5,000 to 10,000 IU, sometimes more. If you're taking multiple supplements without realizing the overlap, the risk of toxicity goes up dramatically. Miss Simmons is slowly recovering, but she now needs regular eye exams and balance therapy. She once told me, "I thought I was doing something good for my body. I never imagined it could hurt my brain." And she's right, that's the heartbreaking part. So here's my advice. Check every label. If you see more than 3,000 IU of vitamin A per day, ask yourself why. Unless prescribed by your doctor, more is not safer, it's risky. Now, I'd like to know, have you ever taken a supplement for your eyes or skin that included vitamin A? Type A in the comments if you've ever checked the label or if you're going to start checking today. Finally, let's look at niacin, also known as vitamin B3. For years, it's been praised as a natural way to lower cholesterol. Some doctors even prescribe it, and you'll find it in heart health supplements, fortified cereals, and even energy drinks. On the surface, it sounds harmless. But here's the truth, in high doses, niacin can quietly wreak havoc on your blood pressure and your brain. One of my patients, Mr. Frank Miller, a retired postman from Florida, learned this the hard way. At 82, he prided himself on staying active, still gardening, walking daily, and watching his diet. But he began experiencing strange symptoms, sudden hot flashes, a pounding chest, dizziness every morning. His wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure medication. The real culprit was hiding in his supplement drawer. He had been taking a heart support formula that looked harmless on the front label. But the fine print revealed it contained 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving, and he was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily, over 60 times the amount most older adults actually need. Here's why that's dangerous. High-dose niacin causes your blood vessels to suddenly expand, which is why some people notice flushing in their face or warmth in their skin. But shortly afterward, those same vessels snap back and constrict. This yo-yo effect dilation, followed by tightening, creates sudden swings in blood pressure. For older arteries that are already stiff and fragile, that constant stress is like tapping a hammer against thin glass. Eventually, something breaks. Mr. Miller suffered what's known as a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for a few minutes, then returned. He was lucky. Many others are not. Here's what you need to know. For most older adults, anything above 50 milligrams of niacin per day should only be taken under medical supervision. Even flush-free or extended-release niacin isn't truly safer. It can still raise blood pressure, disrupt blood sugar, and stress the heart. The lesson is simple: more isn't better. If you're taking niacin for cholesterol, talk with your doctor about safer, proven alternatives. Foods like fatty fish, nuts, whole grains, and vegetables provide natural heart support without the risks of megadose supplements. So let me ask you, have you or someone you know ever taken niacin for cholesterol or heart health? Type B3 into the comments if you've ever seen it on a label. We've now walked through 5 common vitamins, D, E, B, 6, A, and niacin that, when taken in excess or at the wrong time, can quietly put your brain and your independence at risk. And here's the key lesson. It's not that vitamins are bad, it's that too much, for too long, without guidance, can backfire. I'll never forget meeting Mrs. Margaret Wilson, a 73-year-old retired school principal from Arizona. She pulled out a drawer full of supplements: vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for her heart, a B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, plus a daily multivitamin. "I'm doing everything right, doctor," she told me. Yet she was dizzy in the mornings, her balance was unsteady, and her blood pressure kept creeping higher. Something wasn't adding up. So we tried something radical. We cleared the clutter. Instead of pills, we built her routine around real food: a boiled egg for protein, half an avocado for healthy fats, a slice of whole grain toast, a handful of blueberries rich in antioxidants, a glass of water to hydrate the brain. Sometimes she added walnuts or salmon. That was it: simple, whole, nourishing. Within weeks, her dizziness faded, her pressure stabilized, and her mind felt clearer than it had in years. And that's the truth I want to leave you with today. At this stage of life, your body doesn't need megadoses of vitamins, it needs balance, hydration, and nutrients in their natural form. Leafy greens for folate, fatty fish for omega-3 second, berries for antioxidants, nuts and seeds for healthy fats, whole grains for steady energy. Awareness is your most powerful medicine. Read the labels, ask your doctor, listen to your body, especially when it whispers. So now I'll ask you, what's one small change you can make starting tomorrow? Share it in the comments. If this video gave you a wake-up call, please like it to help others find it. And don't forget to subscribe to Thrive After 6'5" so we can keep learning, growing, and staying strong together. You are never too old to take back control of your health.